Wizards just announced their Marvel Secret Lair. There's a bunch of different secret lairs with whole new commanders, and today we're gonna talk about how I'll build them from like a first initial reaction perspective. So let's take a look. The first one is Captain America, First Avenger. I like that they have Jeskai, pretty funny. They're a human soldier hero, so I guess hero is like a new creature type. And then two abilities. First is Throw. Unattach an equipment from Captain America. He deals damage equal to the equipment's mana value. Divide it as you choose amongst one, two, or three targets. So that's pretty cool. So like, it's like when you throw the shield and it like bounces, and you catch at the beginning of combat during your turn. You get to attach one target equipment you control to Captain America. Cool. So this is very clearly the experience of Captain America throwing the shield. I assume there's going to be a shield here as well. Interesting. I think I heard some rumblings or whispers of Captain America with the Excalibur card from Assassin's Creed, which is like kind of a cool crossover because Captain America having Excalibur, and then throwing Excalibur to bounce off people. It's pretty neat. I don't exactly remember Excalibur. It's like +10/+10, I think. Deals equal to mana value. I guess there's like other high mana value, like Argentum armor. Oh my god, Argentum armor would be so broken. So clearly, I guess let's look through the secret layer first, then we'll talk about Commander. Captain America's 8, so Sigard is 8. That's cool. Nice Falcon there. And then Flawless Maneuver, Shield of War and Peace. That makes sense. Red and white. In the Trenches. Oh, this is just straight up that card from Brothers War. +1/+1, exile, non-land permanent. Yeah. So kind of cool. You get to see that's Namor, right? That's Human Torch. There's Bucky, I think. Like not hot Bucky, but like I don't know, Robin Bucky. And then that is I can't tell who that is. Is it Sunspot? I don't know. Okay, so back to the commander. Okay. How would I build this guy? Well, it's clear that like it's an equipment deck. Stoneforge Mystic would be really good. You get to like, tutor for an artifact, put a Batter Skull in, then suit up Captain America immediately with a Batter Skull, and then just go to town, right? You have to pay 3 to unequip it. Yeah, so you go to beginning of combat, you catch it. So you would activate Stoneforge for 2, put it down, suit him up, go to combat, then unattach afterwards. Or you could even do it during combat. What you could do is Argentum armor, attack, get the trigger, destroy a thing, activate, because it doesn't say sorcery speed, get rid of some creatures, and then like, I don't know, deal some damage. You could also just Colossus Hammer this guy, right? You could just put a cheat in play a Colossus Hammer and he just snaps it on. There's a sound effect it's in my head. I don't know if like you can hear I don't know if you imagine it when I'm like doing this thing, but there's like that magnetic sound when like in the movies he has like a magnetic shield, or they added like a magnet to it. That's why like he could just there's like a sound. Okay. Enough about this sound. But that's how I imagine. Like he just does this and then like Colossus Hammer. Boom. What else could you do that's cool with this guy? Because like that's a pretty boring deck. Like it's a cool deck. It's cool to play, right? But like that's not that interesting to build to me. It just seems like every other equipment deck, you just swap the commander and now you have a cool guy that throws stuff. What else can you do with the throw? I guess any effect. Ooh, this is kind of cool. I think any effect that deals deals damage to a creature or a player at any target. It's 3 targets. Oh, it could be players. So I think stuff like, let me see. How about this? Does this guy count? Whatever deal less than the power equal. Oh, okay. See, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking any effect that's like if you would deal damage, like non-creature damage, it like deals more of it or like deals double. Oh, wait. There's like a roller coaster. No, that's not the card I'm looking for. There's a roller coaster from Duskmorn. Roller coaster. Where is it? This one. If a sorcery would deal non-combat to a permanent or player while there are 4 more types, you deal double. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, you have like stuff like this roller coaster, or like I think burning of not burning, the Anduin or whatever. There's like a Lord of the Rings card that's, I can't remember what it's called, but it deals damage, I think, like excess damage or whatever. You kind of get the idea. I think that kind of enchantment stuff would make it a little more interesting. Like now you throw a thing, it deals double extra combat maybe, because then you get to suit them up again. What else could you do? I guess you could make it like a soldier deck. You know, that is cool. I think that is interesting to me, because then, oh, you could bring in the soul. No, he's green white, but like the soldier cards from like Doctor Who, because there's like some military dudes, or you can do like Fallout soldiers. Oh, Space Marine soldiers. Are they soldiers? I think they are, right? Oh, they're warriors. They're all warriors. I remember they like trigger. They trigger. They trigger. They trigger magic players. They trigger. Yeah, they trigger Nagila. Dang. Yeah, but I think a soldier deck might be a little more interesting to me, because you get to like lean into the concept of him being more of like a leader, leading people into battle. That's kind of cool. I think if you made like a Voltron kind of deck, it's like a little expected. It's a little boring. You could probably do some cool stuff, but I'm not excited by that. Maybe do extra turns, extra combats, cheat in the big equipment, did have damage doublers. It's like a fine deck. I'm more thematically interested in like gathering a bunch of cool soldiers from Magic and having Captain America and like at the forefront, equipped with like all the Magic's like greatest equipment, like the Elspeth spear, right? Like he's there leading the charge. So I think that's cool. Okay, I've talked about him enough. I think that's a cool direction. All right, the next one is the King of Wakanda. Black Panther Wakandan King, 2 mana, pretty cheap. First strike, survey the realm. Whenever Black Panther or another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target land you control. Oh, that's pretty neat. And then Mine Vibranium. 3 mana, move a +1 from target land you control onto target creature, and if more, move you gain that much life and draw a card. Oh, whenever or another creature ETB or enters. Okay. Secure the waste, so you make a bunch of warriors. Is that Sif? No. It just kind of looked like Sif a little bit, because it's a little dark. But notice the blue and the Vibranium mines, I guess. That's cool. Boss's Blessing. Primal Vigor. Oh, Primal Vigor is a good printing. I think Primal Vigor is like kind of expensive. Heroic Intervention. I know this card used to be expensive. Wakandan Skyscraper. Karn's Bastion. Oh, that's neat. That's a good... Looks like a snake. It's kind of funny. He's a warrior token. Alright. This guy is cool. I like this guy. I've never seen... I don't think we've ever seen something like this before, where you put a +1/+1 counter on a land, and then you get to shift it onto your creatures. So this is like doing a lot of things, right? It's incentivizing you to play more creatures, and then those creatures generate tokens, and you're also... I guess you don't need more lands. You just need like 1 land to like park all those counters on. But you want to play cards like Primal Vigor, right? Or Boss's Blessing. Excuse me. To generate more counters. Stuff like Ozolith. Ozolith is when creature dies, I think it shifts. Or it just sucks it up. You also have life gain and draw a card. Move all +1/+1 counters. Also, actually, no. You are kind of incentivized, sort of, to have more lands to park the counters onto. Because if you want to be able to draw more cards, it draws only once for all the counters on 1 land. So if you split the +1/+1 counters across the lands, then activating 3 lets you draw. Like, it just gives you more sources to draw from. I don't think that'll be an issue though, because any deck you play here probably has like a token generator, so it'll be pretty easy, I think. But I don't know, maybe you have like Seedborn. Oh, Seedborn Muse would be sick. You have like Seedborn Muse or something, and every turn cycle you do a mini Thrasios. We can't escape Thrasios on this channel. You pay 3, shift everything, +1/+1 counters. That's really interesting. This is a really cool commander. Thematically speaking, I also really like the idea that like the wealth or like the power of Wakanda comes from the vibranium mines, right, or the land itself. there's like also we've seen so much technology around protecting the land, protecting their border from foreign invaders, and that's what also the Black Panther is here for, right? The king is here to like defend the land, and here your people are like the creatures are generating strength for the like that you can draw from the land. So I don't know, like it all kind of like thematically works. I think it's this one's really interesting. So yeah, how would I build this one? So yeah, creature tokens. I kind of want like a ramp deck just because there are lands here. You know, it'd be really funny. Oh, wait a second, yo, we could play all the man lands, and you put the +1/+1 counters on the land, and then you just animate them, and then you like they're bigger. So that's cool. You know what? Maybe okay, like we do have to play some creatures, but maybe this is just like animate all the lands, right? Like Wakanda literally comes to life to like defend itself. That's cool. That's so cool. And then like you have life gain like stuff like Archangel Thune. You know, always play that. The enchantment that's like whenever you gain life, pay mana and draw Dawn of Hope. Whenever you gain life, you can make a token. I think I don't remember, but like you can have a little bit of life gain to go with it. I would probably focus more on if I were to build this, I would focus on the manland idea because that's cool. I make a ramp deck, and then play creatures that support the land. So my favorite creature after analyst something, yeah, aftermath analyst. Yeah, this would be cool. I love this card. I love playing this card in my decks, just like stuff like that. All right, let's move on. Oh, Iron Man, my favorite. Okay, actually, I do like Iron Man a lot. I used to love Iron Man the most, and Spider Man's really moved up there lately, the last couple of years. So this is like a number two, maybe a number one. See how we feel today. But right now, number one. Iron Man, I love this art. There's like you get the sense of invention. You know, you get the sense of like technology. 5 mana, human hero, flying haste, artifact creature. I did not get a sense he was an artifact creature from this border. Alright, whenever he attacks, create a treasure token, a treasure, and then you can sacrifice a non-creature artifact. If you do, tutor for an artifact of mana value 1 plus the sacrifice mana value and put it onto our battlefield tab. So it's a birthing pod for artifacts. Haven't we seen this before? I thought we've seen that effect on another. Oh, no. I'm thinking about Synthesis Pod or something. Like it exiles a spell off the stack and then like you get one bigger. So, oh, that's actually pretty good because you could just play him. Like, let's say, you know, this is Magic Christmas Land. Turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 Basalt Monolith, Grim Monolith, whatever. Turn 3 Iron Man, swing, turn the Basalt into a 4-drop, right? It's just any artifact. It can be a creature. So the thing you sacrifice can't be a creature, but the thing afterwards could be. So taking that thing, hammering it to become like I don't know, a robot. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what else he does. I'm pretty sold on this guy. Galvanic Blast, interesting, really funny because I don't think this is played anywhere, right? Except for Pauper. No, we played Pauper, right? Commander's Plate, great reprint. This one's pretty expensive, and it just makes a lot of sense. This isn't based on the movie, but it looks like Mark V, from the Avengers, or like it looks like the earlier suits in the movies. I think it's Mark. No, Mark V is bulkier, so this one is probably like Mark 3 or 4. The arms don't look like any of the early suits, though. The arm looks a little bit more like the Endgame style. I know this is like its own thing, but I like Iron Man. That's cool. Soul Ring. Oh, I like that. I like this because it's like thematically like the thing that powers, you know, your deck. So having an arc reactor has a Soul Ring, nice touch. Inventor's Fair. Oh, Stark Expo. That's so funny. I like also they chose not to call it Stark Expo, but keep Inventor's Fair because it like works in both ways. So a little bit of this is Flushing, right? In the movie, it happened in Flushing or Queens. It was in Queens. It was in Queens. So you can have Queens in your commander. Oh, I can have New York in my deck now. I wonder if I can have my house. Okay. All right. All these cards are cool. Let's talk about Iron Man. What can we do with Iron Man? So I like what's here. I like the effect, but I don't like. It's kind of like Captain America, where it's like a little too straightforward, right? Because like you just play, you make an artifact deck. He comes into play, like he attacks, and then you get a bigger thing, and then like that bigger thing kind of like becomes a bigger thing, and then you win the game with like your synergy. Bleh, you know, like that's not that exciting. I am starting to think about like extra combat. I know we said extra combat for Captain America, but this one has an attack trigger, so you know that's kind of interesting. Copy artifact. I'm thinking, is there like what cool things we could do with maybe like making a copy of artifact creature, like artifact tokens. Does it say non-token? No, it just says non-art creature. So it could be anything. It could be that treasure if we want to. So even if you have no artifacts, you make that treasure and then hammer it into like a 1-drop. But yeah, like we could do that. We could oh, Rings of Brightheart. Oh wait, okay, we're starting to cook. Rings of Brightheart, copy the trigger so you can look for double things. Yeah, I think if you make the deck completely around the triggers, like the attack trigger, and maximizing it, it'd be kind of neat. Oh, wait a second. Hold up. We're starting to cook. We're starting to cook a little bit. The AI brain is starting to do its thing. Let's see what we got. Because I'm thinking if there's like we can't crack any of these because they're creatures, but there has to be like, you know, a non-creature. I'm so bad at using this. A non-creature affinities artifact thing. Oh, there isn't one? It's only spells? There's no artifacts that actually has affinity? That's interesting. I mean, non-creature artifact? Alright, that's a little less cheaty. I guess what else could we do? I mean, the deck kind of builds itself. What else? I guess if I were to build an Iron Man deck, I would want my favorite thing to do, or my favorite thing about Iron Man in the recent movies. I have trash taste. I like Iron Man 3 a lot. I love Iron Man 3. It's such a fun movie. And my favorite part is when you know, Tony does what's it called? Well, I forgot what the protocol is called. But he sends in the Iron Legion, and the Iron Legion's like boom, 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 and then Disney's like, look at all these action figures you can buy. That was the thought. That was my first thought. It's like, wow, look at all these things I can purchase. That was so cool. Where you can get like all the suits. So if I made an Iron Man deck, I would love to have an Iron Legion. So maybe, you know, Tony could find artifacts that's like build up like a fortress or like a lab or something to support your constructs, and then the constructs can be the suits. Maybe. See, that doesn't make sense though, because he wears the suit. I got it. This is the deck. All right, we're cooking. It's all armor, like equipment, right? So basilisk, no, slagworm something. Slagworm armor. It's a 1-drop. Whatever. Slagworm armor. Commander's plate we have there. I think there's like samurai plating. Let me look up plating. Not cranial plating. Okay, but we get a bunch of armor, right? Those are the suits. Tony himself could wear them. Cool. But we play the stuff that animates them into creatures. And then Tony uses the triggers. We use the triggers to fetch out the armors. So it's like him calling in the iron. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, that's the deck. It's probably awful, but that's my deck. I'm gonna build that. That's cool. All right, this one is last. It's Storm. No, we have one more after this. Okay, we have Storm, Force of Nature. I actually saw a sneak peek of this one earlier, so I'm pretty excited. Mutant Hero, so mutants are already existing from like Simic stuff. Flying Vigilance, Ceaseless Tempest. Whenever Storm deals combat damage to a player, the next instant sorcery spell you cast this turn is Storm. Yeah, that's sick. 4 mana, 3/4. Very similar to, actually not similar at all, but for some reason the play pattern is similar to Yidris to me, where you deal combat damage and then like you storm off within like Sans White. This is also no black. So Storm, oh, let me see what else they have. This one is Manamorphose. Oh, that's cool. I want 4 of these for my Storm deck in Modern. Lightning Bolt. That's cool. A J-Will, but a Storm's Will. I like that they kept the art, like the Jessica, like the style, but it's Storm. I like that. Ice Storm. Destroy target land. I could play this in pre-modern. It's funny they print this with Ice Storm, because you can make a Storm deck, storm off, and the next spell you cast is Ice Storm and destroy everyone's lands. And I guarantee you those there's Marvel, anyone who was playing Commander for the first time because of these things will be like, I'm done with Magic. I can't believe you could do that. I'm just kidding. Probably not. So this one's pretty obvious, right? We know how to build this one. This one is just you play your rocks, you do your storm things, go to combat with storm, and then play like a big spell and then like storm off. You could do stuff like doubling the triggers somehow. Maybe you could do stuff like when you copy a spell triggers, right? Like what's that guy called? There's a 4 mana guy that makes treasures, Magecraft. So Magecraft works well with Storm. I I assume this could be something in CDH, maybe. Oh yeah, yeah. Like literally anything you play gets Storm. So you could play like 2 rocks and slam a brainstorm and draw and rip 9 cards and put six back. I don't know. Do whatever you want. Get triple J will, right? So that seems pretty good. Everyone was probably gonna remove her. So I think I don't want to get too creative with Storm because she's pretty clear how you build her. I think she's very exciting. Also, if you play extra combat steps, you could I guess have doubles, like 2 spells have Storm. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on Storm. Maybe we do a CDH build at some point, but there's not that much more space I can think of to like play her. All right, this one is the last secret lair. It's Wolverine, best there is. 3 unrivaled lethality. Double all damage Wolverine would deal. At the beginning of each end step, if a Wolverine dealt damage to another creature this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on him, and you regenerate. So this is like the fightiest dude in the world, which makes sense. Does this come with motorcycle? Oh, it comes with Berserk. That's cool. That's fitting. Also, it's topless. Kind of funny. Rite of Passage. Oh, X-23. That's sick. Well, I think X-23 in her Wolverine suit, so shouldn't be calling her X-23 shot. That's Wolverine. Creature you control Delta. Yeah, I know what this does. This is an old Najila card. No, it's not. I'm thinking of something else. Rhythm of the Wild. That's cool. And then Adamantium Bonding Tank. Oh, that's sick. That's really sick. That's a cool like, I don't know, way to rebrand it. All right, so Wolverine, best there is. I'm not that into this guy. Wait, double all damage Wolverine would deal. So he deals 4 damage. Oh, I see. Like, if you connect with Wolverine, very quickly he can easily take out a player from commander damage, which is fitting. That's what Wolverine's like a really like killsy guy. Like shink shink, stabby stab. Right. That's what he does. So that I guess that's cool. Each end step, if you dealt damage to another creature this turn, +1/+1. So you have regenerate. I don't know why all these commanders would be better with extra combat steps. Okay, I don't have an agenda. All right, I don't have a special deal to sell extra combat step cards, but for some reason, all of them are better with extra combat steps. So that's Wolverine would be good at that. There's only one way I would build Wolverine. If you play taunt spells on Wolverine, probably good because you taunt all of them, and then like kill most of them. I imagine. Because you deal double damage, regenerate Wolverine, and then try again next combat step. So I think the taunt stuff would be good. I think there's I forgot what it's called. I think it's just called, what's it called? Is it straight up called taunt? No. There's a green enchantment I'm thinking of. But, you find cards like that. You could do that with Wolverine. Give him trample too. You could do that and make a pretty cool deck out of him. What I would want to do, the only way I would build this commander is Wolverine, nothing but pump spells. That's it. Nothing too special. Gore Clan Rampager channel, Blood Rush, all those cards, like channel, not channel, it's called Blood Rush, I think. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Gore Clan Rampager. This one. Blood Rush, yeah. Blood Rush, Wolverine, give him +4/+4, 6 deal 12. Nothing like Titan Strength. Giant Growth, Berserk. That's the deck I want to build. None of the taunt stuff. None of the +1/+1 stuff. It's cool, they'll try and block, and we'll get angrier and bigger from it, right? But that's what I would do because I think that's like really funny. I guess what happens when you run out of pump spells, your hand is empty, and you took out one person and there's 2 other players, right? So we probably need this is getting pretty sick. Because you could play Hunter's Insight. Yeah, no, not this one, not this one, not this one. You could play spells where when Wolverine deals combat damage to a player, you draw that many cards. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember any of these cards. But yeah, if you put stuff like that, you put stuff like the green Curiosity, Sixth Sense or Keen Sense. Yeah, that would work. So that you keep drawing a couple more pump spells, and then you just go to town, right? Put a Brawn into the graveyard, so that Wolverine has trample. You play, you know, the good thing to do is you play like Swift foot boots or whatever it's called. You don't want Greaves because you want to be able to target them. You want to play things like Commander's Plate or whatever to like give them hexproof or whatever. But I think the more Wolverine thing to do, hear me out. The more Wolverine thing to do is you play stuff like they play the auras or enchantments that is like when a creature you control gets targeted, you draw a card, right? Because if you play stuff like that, it's like you're getting angrier. You'll let him Swords and Plowshares or bounce your Wolverine, but you're like, that's cool. I'm gonna hit you harder next turn, right? We also need an anger in the graveyard. Weird that Wolverine doesn't have haste, but probably too much if we gave him haste, right? You know, I was kind of low on Wolverine, but now that we talked about it, I kind of like that deck. That angry Wolverine pump spell deck, I think will make people really angry. And I like, yeah. So those are all the secret layers. Oh, one last thing. If you buy all the secret layers, you get this arcane signet that is like Earth's mightiest emblem. So kind of cool. All right, so those are all the secret layer commanders and all the cards. They're pretty neat. All of them I feel like are pretty fitting to the theme and pretty well designed. If I were to rank them on what I think is most interesting to build or what I'm personally most excited about, I think is definitely Black Panther #1. And then I would put Tony #2 because I like Tony or Iron Man. But if I took away my bias of Iron Man, I would probably put maybe Captain America #2 because I think the equipment throwing is pretty funny. Then I would put Wolverine 3rd. Well, then Iron Man, then Wolverine because Wolverine is pretty straightforward as well. But I feel like there's space to make a really simple and funny deck that way. Then I would put Storm last, which might be surprising because I think if we're talking about power, Storm's #1. I think a lot of like high power competitive like minded players are probably gonna put Storm #1, but I don't think she's that interesting if I were gonna build like a fun deck. You know, it's probably fun to do Storm stuff, but we have so much Storm in general Commander that I'm like a little sick of it. So I'm pretty excited by Storm. Don't get me wrong. I want to build a cool CDH deck around her, but if I were to rate these commanders or rank them based on like just casual play, that's how I would do it. Or like what deck I'd be most excited about. Because I feel like there's a lot of unique stuff you could do, especially with Black Panther. But let me know what you think. You know, who are you most excited to play? Which one are you gonna get? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, bye bye.